I love how Tony Robbins, he always tells the story about burning your boats, where it's just like there was some people that were going to war. And it was just like, yo, it's like 100 versus 4,000, right? And it's just like, yo, we taking this lane, even though it's just 100 with us, and we're going to burn the boat so it's no retreat. So that's where we want to go with decisions, where it's just like, where's that thing where it's just like, I'm going to burn the boat and I'm not going to retreat. And so for me personally, it was investing in the coaching programs or deciding to quit my job where it's just like, yo, I'm all in, there's no retreat. I'm not going backwards, I'm going forward. Even if I don't win, be brave. And I know I'm going to learn something along the way. And that's what's so dope about decisions is when you make those decisions, either you're going to fail quicker, which means you learn quicker, or it actually works out. Either way, you win. It's when we don't make this decision and we stay stuck, we lose. And so for me personally, whenever I don't make it, whenever I'm confused, it's because I'm scared to do something. So over the past week or two, I was in kind of like a slump, and it's because there's a decision that I needed to make that I didn't want to make. And I just made that decision this week where it's just like, yo, I know I already committed $5K to a coaching program. And again, I'm gonna go deeper into this story. And it's just like, yo, I wasn't getting the help that I knew I needed. And I knew I needed to pay for another coaching program. And I was just like, fuck, that's going to be an extra $2,000 to $4,000. And Monday, I was just like, yo, F it, I need the help. So I just did it. And so that was me burning my boats again because I know what I needed. So that's the decision part. The second part after decision is commitment. Because once you decide, you got to be committed to the outcome. And commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has long passed. So what tends to happen, once we make a decision and things go our way, we're straight. But one thing we know about life right now, does life always go our way?
No.
Life never goes our way. So we got to decide up front that, yo, I'm going to commit to this. And that's what's so dope about what Kyle is doing in the other group. People are committing to doing a specific thing every single day. In my coaching program, you guys got your KPIs every single day. There's certain things that we got to commit to come hell or high water. And do we have one bad day, 2 bad days, or a bad week? Absolutely. But how soon can we get back to the thing that we committed to a point where we've mastered it and now it's subconsciously we're doing it? Because think about anything that you've achieved in your life right now that's normal, you were committed to it. You got yourself to do it whenever you didn't feel like it. Whether that's in your health, whether that's in your relationship, whether that's with your kids. Like I remember when I first had kids, nobody wanted to wake up in the middle of the night and give them a bottle. You didn't want to change diapers, right? You didn't want to work to support them, right? You didn't want to give them your last. But in your mind, this is my child. I'm going to take care of them. And even though I don't feel like waking up in the middle of the night to care for them, I'm going to do it because I committed to being a dad. I can't go back. And that's how I treat my business. I got to support my clients no matter what. I got to grow this thing no matter what, because I said this is who I am. I can't go back on my word, even the days that I don't feel like it. Makes sense? So that's committed. And then third one is resolve. Tony Robbins is like, resolve means resolving your inner conflicts. Moose used to say that every human being is a walking contradiction, where we think one thought, we believe another thought, and we do the complete opposite. I made that part up. So we literally got to become aware of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Because in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm going to be a 6-7 figure coach. Emotionally, I don't think I can do this. Action-wise, here are your KPIs. I don't feel like it today. What the fuck? How are you going to get what you said you wanted when you don't think you can do it and you're not doing what you know you need to do? Can you see the walking contradiction?
Yeah.
And the reason why we're a walking contradiction is because of the inner conflict, right? Where one part of us says we can't do it and the other part of us says we can't. So when the mind says I can, we do everything that's required. However, we're living through our senses. I love when Bob Proctor goes into the paradigm. If you're making decisions based on what you could currently see, taste, feel, touch, your 5 senses, you're screwed. That's not where the power is. The power is in the mind, our subconscious. So you want to live out of your imagination and not your memory, right? And so when we're living off our senses, we do what's required until our senses tell us this is not the right thing, let's retreat. And that's when we start to take 5 steps back. Remember, life is the dance between what we desire most and what we fear most. And we have to be absolutely clear on what the desire is specifically and what the fear is specifically. Otherwise, it's going to be an inner conflict where one part of you thinks you can, the other part of you thinks you can't. And that's when we take 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Make sense?
Yes.
Who heard this before and feel like they understand it at a deeper level?
I've definitely heard it before. And after our call earlier today, I certainly feel like I understand it at a deeper level. Nice.
All right, cool. And so from there, we got the I can part and the I can't part, right? And before I even do that framework, this is something I've taught as well that's readily applicable to it, right? So one is the KTW goals, which I love. KTW is what you know you can do, what you think you can do, and what you actually want. Know you can do is just like, yo, like when I think back on my experiences, when I graduated from college, I knew that I could drive an Uber, right? I wanted a job making maybe 45K. I remember I applied one job actually and got denied. And like, I'm not applying to no other jobs. I applied to enterprise rental cars, right? I was geek. Like I got a 4.0. I know how to articulate myself. I was student body president in college. Like I'm smart, summa cum laude. And it's just like I applied to the job. They rejected me. I'm just like, I ain't applying no more jobs, even though I wanted a job. And then I just did what I knew I could do, which was do what my dad did. I drove Uber. Well, he drove taxi. So that's something that I knew I could do. There was no growth there. That was me settling. The second one is what you think you can do. So after settling a little bit there, I thought I could be a professional speaker. So what I was doing is, as I was driving Uber, I was studying E.T., Bob Proctor, taking all of these notes and studying really hard, right? Because I thought I could be a speaker. But the thing with goals that you think you can do, again, one moment you think you can and the other moment you think you can't. So when I had kids and all that other stuff, I'm like, yo, this speaking thing ain't gonna really work out for me. Let me play it safe and go get my MBA. So I quit on the speaking dream. Like subconsciously, I still wanted it. So I was still listening to stuff, but on a daily basis, I wasn't working towards being a speaker. Like I even did Toastmasters and all that shit and applied to Game Changers and stuff. But I could clearly see that I wasn't committed to being a speaker. And that's why I settled for getting my MBA degree and getting a job. However, even the MBA degree was a stretch because that wasn't something that I wanted, but it was something that I think I could do. And I put a lot of effort into studying that, getting into the program and actually graduating the program. But it was still something that I just thought I wanted to do. Right? It wasn't what I really wanted. I didn't go after something that I really wanted until last year when I was just like, yo, I'm quitting my job and coaching full time and making 120K in a year. Mind you, my paradigm was set at 45K per year at that time. So there was no way humanly possible that my mind could connect that I could make 120K in a year coaching on my own. But it's what I really wanted. So when it comes to goals that you really want, Bob Proctor says the goal isn't to get, the goal is to grow. So when you set the goal, you already know it's impossible to achieve based on who you are right now, but you're just like, yo, I'm willing to grow to become worthy of the goal. So Jim Rohn used to have quotes that just like, yo, success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. So once you get clear on the specific goal, now you got to get clear on the person you have to be to achieve the goal, and then start doing what that person would do. And I literally remember when I was just like, yo, I'm paying Tony for 100K for the coaching program because I want to earn $100,000 a month. And at the time, consistently, I had probably made like $20,000 more a month. But when Tony dropped the price, he was just like, yo, it's 6 figures. I'm just like, does the person that's making 6 figures a month trip over a 6-figure a year coaching program?
No.
And I was terrified throughout the whole experience. And a lot of times I wanted to take my money back. I wanted to quit, but I decided, I committed, I resolved. I didn't blame nobody. I just did the best that I could do in that circumstance, in that situation. And now that forced me to grow. And now I'm million times more confident in the fact that I could do 100K per month. So honesty, transparency, and vulnerability, like, yo, is this that thing that I really want that actually scares me? If the goal doesn't scare you, it's not a C goal.